Governor Sarah Palin is consistent to a fault on one central point. Regarding her shortcomings, it is never her, it is always us. Even if she has to stretch the definition of us to include a right-wing propagandist who once boasted he had sketched out a plan to assassinate O.J. Simpson. Once again, in our number one story tonight, Governor Palin claims the media is guilty of taking her comments out of context, even though it was her new conservative champion, John Ziegler, who posted more than 9 minutes of an interview with her on the internet and provided all the context there is. And even though her answers to his questions, many of which we played in full here yesterday, were clear, or as clear as they could be in Palin speak, like what she said about Caroline Kennedy.
I've been interested also to see how Caroline Kennedy will be handled, and if she'll be handled with kid gloves, or if she will be under such a microscope also. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, and I think that as we watch that, we will perhaps be able to prove that there is a class issue here also that was such a factor in the scrutiny of my candidacy versus, say, the scrutiny of what her candidacy may be.
A lengthy statement from the governor's office today, quote, "I was not commenting at all on Caroline Kennedy as a prospective U.S. senator, but rather on the seemingly arbitrary ways in which news organizations determine the level and kind of scrutiny given to those who aspire to public office." The governor setting up a straw man there, since the media was not claiming that she was critiquing Kennedy's qualifications. We didn't say that, nor did Politico.com, which the statement specifically cites. Yet the governor in that statement, quote, expressed dismay at continuing efforts in the media to take her comments out of context to create adversarial situations. Mr. Ziegler today went on the attack, telling our own David Schuster that he was a joke and an alleged news person for his anti-Palin bias. Last night, Bill O'Reilly towed the line. Well, Governor Palin is right to be angry with the media. It exploited and demeaned her because it largely wanted Barack Obama to win the election. She did not demean herself at all. And how did we miss this? The simple, apparent irony of it. In that 9-minute excerpt of the governor, the words, "How Obama got elected," are plastered over it, with part of the answer right there before our eyes. Let's turn now to comedian Paul F. Tompkins, also, of course, the host of VH1's Best Week Ever. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Keith.
So in this interview, Palin accused the media of bias in favor of Caroline Kennedy because, I guess, because she's upper class. And then we said that, what she said, used her own words. Then in her statement, now Palin says, oh, no, I was talking about the seemingly arbitrary media coverage of those who seek public office. Am I missing something obvious, maybe as obvious as that graphic yesterday, that would make Governor Palin's statement about what she said make some sort of sense in ordinary English language usage?
Well, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, it is kind of arbitrary if you think about it. You know, when the idea of Caroline Kennedy running maybe for the Senate, people aren't really scrutinizing that at all. And then Sarah Palin, just because she's running for the second most and potentially most powerful position in elected office, all of a sudden everybody wants to know all about her. How arbitrary.
Yeah, real invasion of privacy there the governor suffered. I agree with you. Does it seem, though, that the word that is used by every politician when they get caught saying something that was too stupid to have gotten out of their mouth in one piece, do you think she knows does it seem like she knows what the word context actually means?
She might have a grasp of the idea of context, but not how to actually use it in context. I don't know if what more she wants us to see of her, if she wants us to find some sort of secret room in an office building and enter her head John Malkovich style.
Very nice.
I don't know what is left to know about her.
Might be a lot of room in. Oh, I'm sorry. There's this one from Ziegler's blog, which we quoted a couple of times, that she saw a photo of me and, quote, she literally let out a shriek and, pointing to his photograph, declared, "That guy is evil." Does some context change her meaning there, Paul?
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Secondly,
Thank you.
I think the context does change the meaning. Like, if you look at the movies from the villain's point of view, James Bond seems like a real jerk, you know? If you were Goldfinger, wouldn't you be tempted to say, what do you care if I want to rob Fort Knox? You're not even American. Did you hear the song, I Love Gold?
By the way, the word evil spelled backwards is live. Did you know, by the way, that Tina Fey was exploiting her, but apparently Fred Armisen was not exploiting Barack Obama?
Yeah, I think because people weren't talking about the Fred Armisen Obama impression that much, it's only exploitation if it actually gets results. Like, say, if you talk about how great family values are and you trot your family out, and then people start talking about your family and you get upset about it, you know, that kind of exploitation.
Right. We're allowed to talk about our families. You're not allowed to talk about our family.
Yes.
One of the greatest examples of context in all its visual wonder was the governor's interview last November about how brutal it was to be a candidate on the national stage while while she stood in front of those poor turkeys being slaughtered. I assume here that she would have rather that we had taken it completely out of context, that there was no such context at all.
I think that she's probably the only person that, when she saw this footage, was probably the only person that said, yes, that is perfect. This is the perfect metaphor for me and the media. They want to just grind me up so they can feed themselves. And just like that turkey agreed to be penned, caught, and slaughtered, just like I agreed to be interviewed.
Is the solution for this, for the context, for the governor to simply sort of stream uninterrupted video of herself 24 hours a day?
Well, there it is. You found her out. This is her TV series pitch. You know, a lot of people had her pegged for one of those judge shows, but I think she set her sights a little higher, and she said, yes, me and my family are absolutely reality show material. And
a whole network just for them, 24 hours.
Why not?
Lastly, maximum donation for a Palin run for re-election to governor or a run for senator from Alaska would be $1,000 over the next 2 years. A run for president would be $2,300 maximum. You in?
Oh, well, this is the first I'm hearing of this, although I have to check my inbox at home. I'm still sorting through the 4,000 emails I get from the Obama people every day.
I just think it's worth $2,300 to keep her around. Paul F. Tompkins, host of VH1's Best Week Ever. As always, Paul, thanks for coming in. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too, Keith.
That's countdown for this to the 2071st day since the declaration of mission accomplished in Iraq. I'm Keith Olbermann. Good night and good luck.